Welcome everybody to episode number 39 of the Third Sun Gaming Podcast. I'm your host Tyler, joined as always by our three co-hosts, starting with Mike. Mike, how are you doing?
Oh, really good, dude. You want to know why?
Sure.
Because today is No Nintendo Sunday. Woo!
No Nintendo Sunday. We'll see.
Yeah, that's not happened. That's already
mic
not
buttons over
happened.
here.
So you can live in
I
your
got the
imaginary
mic mute
world.
buttons.
So, also joining us is Graham. Graham, how are you doing?
Sorry.
Oh yeah, I guess
I'm
he's
here
not
playing
doing
Zelda.
that great.
No. I'm doing good. I'm doing
Put
good.
your Switch down for a second,
playing
and
Switch
we're
now.
doing a
What is
podcast.
wrong with you?
But I'm doing good. You guys are all doing
Are
good.
you sure?
See?
Okay, let's
Are
move
you
on.
all right?
I'm all right.
Aye.
Also joining us is Eugene. How's it going?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right, cool. So, everybody out there, you can join in on the conversation by joining our Facebook group. Go to Facebook, look up Third Sun Gaming Podcast Forums, join the group there, and take part in the discussion. You can also follow us on Twitter at Third Sun Gaming, THIRDSUN Gaming, all one word, to take part in the discussion there. Let's get into the news this week. Starting off, Nintendo released the Nintendo Switch this week on Friday to mixed reviews. What did not release to mixed reviews, however, was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which is one of the greatest, one of the best reviewed games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get into that a little bit later here in the episode. But that kicks off news this week. And up next, Microsoft announced Xbox Games Pass, which gives players limited access to 100 games for $10 a month. And it's going to launch later this spring. The way it works, very similar to Netflix. We have that. So they'll kind of rotate games in and out. Once it's in there, you download it, you can play it until it's taken out of the rotation. So you don't own the game forever. You get it for as long as it's in the rotation. So some games I'm sure will be in there 4 or 5 months at a time. Some maybe just for a month, depending on the title and quality and all that good stuff. So any thoughts on this?
I'm excited for it. I mean, for $10 a month, it's a fantastic deal, especially if you don't have a large games library. I myself don't see myself subscribing to it, depending on the games, really. I did see a few games on there that were pretty interesting. I don't think they have a full detailed list now, but they have some screenshots of some of the titles. I saw Halo 5 Guardians on there.
Yep.
And a few other AAA titles, but I have most of the games on Xbox, and really with all the new games coming out, I don't see myself going back into that game library. But for people that have GameFly and subscribe to that every month, I can see this being a great deal for them. Somebody with even a limited income and people that haven't gotten to play the old library games, I think it's a fantastic deal.
Yeah. I do too. I think this is where gaming's going. And it's going to be services like this. What'd you have, Mike?
I was going to say, I have access to it. They gave however, somehow I ended up in the alpha ring. I have no idea how, because I'd be the last person to do that. But they give you a 1 month free pass, and basically 95 to 97% of the games are all games with gold or backwards compatible games that we've already seen on gold. So
yeah, but I think that's probably to
testing
test it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be that way when it actually launches, but it's just I think just to test it. But yeah.
Yeah, but so far, I mean, the screens are clean. I mean, no real complaints. Didn't bother downloading any of them because I, pretty much own them all. So
yeah,
all right. But it looks promising. I mean, you put that beside EA Access, and you got that, and you got your Netflix subscription, and you got your Hulu subscription, and you got your Prime subscription, and you're good to go.
Well, I was going to say, I mean,
And
consumers
your Xbox
are
Live subscription.
Yeah, consumers.
Well, I usually don't pay for that per month. But,
yeah, consumers are conditioned now to pay a monthly subscription fee for things.
Yeah,
and I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if 2 years from now we see like an Ubisoft thing similar to EA Access and Activision, etc.
Yeah,
I see them doing that as well, and I think that's the way gaming is going to go, and we'll see how it all shakes out. But I'd love to see EA take it further. We were talking about this the other night, and just go with like sports games. So you pay a flat fee and you get all their sports games for the year.
Yeah.
So
this model is not new. I mean, this is the the MMORPG model back from like EverQuest and WoW and stuff like that, where you paid to play or tough titties, and this free to play stuff and everything like that. It really ruins the balance of the games most of the time. Most of the time it's pay to win, But in this kind of scenario, this would definitely be something that I could see a lot of people more interested in. Because if you are low income, or have a lot of bills to pay, let's put it that way, low spending money. I'd rather pay $10 a month to play a $60 game than buy the $60 game right out and put myself in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So do you have to be a gold subscriber?
Yes. Yes.
So you have to be a gold subscriber. So
yep.
I can see a lot of maybe parents doing this, especially if they just picked up the Xbox this last holiday season. They haven't got really a chance to buy all the old titles. So I think it's a great idea. I'd rather pay $10 for my kid and he have a huge library to play and get into, rather than spending $60 every month on a new game.
Yeah, and like say you go and buy a game and that kid don't like that game or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he beats it really quick, and then it's like, okay, now I got to spend like another $60 or whatever. So I think this is a great idea for that reason. The fact that you get access to all those games for such a low amount of money, right? And then there's got to be something in there that's going to be good to play. And if Tyler's saying it's around for like 5 or 6 months, like that's more than enough to beat a game, even if someone's really struggling with it or they don't have a lot of time. So yeah.
And I'm sure they'll do it strategically. They'll put some AAAs in there, and it'll be for 30 days.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be your more competitive shooters, things like that, multiplayer-based games. So it'll be in there for 30 days, and then you can buy it if you want. And they've already said it's at a discounted price if you buy a game that was in that program.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah, 20% off. So, all right. Next up, we talked about it last week, and it turned out to be absolutely true. Middle-earth: Shadow of War was officially announced this week.
Yes.
Told you.
This game...
So excited.
Yeah, this game launches on August 22nd in North America and August 25th in Europe. Trailer looked really cool. Graham, you just finished the first game, so you're probably pretty excited.
Yeah, for sure. And just as soon as I finished it, like it's kind of opened it up for the new one that's coming out in August. So like I said, I've talked about how I've been a backlog of games, so it felt good to actually get one out of there. And for it to be this one, which sets me up now for the sequel when it comes out.
So, what was I going to say? Do you think they'll hit that release date, August? That's really close.
Yeah, it is really close.
Well, let's see what they show with the gameplay that they're going to show on the 8th.
Yeah.
If that looks good and looks solid, then yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It is really close, though. I commend them for announcing a game. Especially since it leaked out, because the way I understand it, the way it leaked out, Target leaked it out, and then almost immediately, Target leaked it immediately right after WB is just like, well, cat's out of the bag. We're going to go ahead. Here's a trailer. Here it is, and this is when it comes out. So they announced it, and then the release date is within 6 months. So that's pretty awesome.
When did that first game come out? That was like what, 3 years ago now?
A couple of years ago.
It was 2014, I want to say.
That game is one of my probably top 20 games for current gen systems. That game is amazing.
That game was fun to play too.
The story isn't fantastic. It's kind of convoluted, and I don't think it really ties in with the Lord of the Rings really storyline at all. But man, that gameplay, the combat, and the what's the enemy
just sneaking around and stuff like that.
The sneaking around, the leveling up, the way you build your character, and then you have the God, I can't even. What's the name, Graham? The system where you have enemies that you fight.
Nemesis system.
Nemesis system, yeah. And the Nemesis, I really want to see what they do with the new Nemesis system.
Yeah, that was amazing actually. Yeah. When I first saw that, like when I played it, and I think you learn about it when you first die. And like when you die, you see all this stuff where it's like promote it, and like all this like AI stuff is going on in the background. Like, I thought that was amazing. So I can just imagine how far they're going to bring it now, because that game was a crossover, right, between or no, it was next gen, right?
Yeah, it was next gen.
Yeah, it was on this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on the old gen systems too.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so, maybe. But yeah, definitely one of my top rated games. I spent so much time with the game, and it's one of the very few platinums that I have on my PlayStation. I really enjoyed that game.
Huh. I just reinstalled it. I'm gonna start playing it shortly.
Oh, it's great.
All right. Cool. Up next, getting more details on Destiny 2, still due to come out this year. And we learned this week what's going to carry over from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. If you have completed the Black Garden story and you're level 20 or above, your character's appearance, so anything involved with character's appearance, will carry over to Destiny 2. However, no weapons, powers, or currency will carry over to the new game. So it's going to give everybody pretty much an equal start. Your level doesn't carry either. So Bungie stated this represents the start of a new adventure for every single character. So it's gonna, and I think this is good for people that like me that want to get back into it, that didn't, that have kind of lost interest in the first one. I don't want to be overpowered right away.
Yeah. Right.
So I want to feel like I'm on equal footing, and I think that's the only right thing to do here.
Well, it's a good thing for me too, someone who has never played Destiny. So now if I play Destiny 2, I won't feel like I'm overwhelmed by all these other people that are just way more powerful than me and have way better items and stuff like that. So it seems like this is the way to go. So I'm glad to see that they're taking that approach.
Well, honestly, since they do they have any microtransactions in Destiny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you could.
If they would just bring over nothing but your microtransactions, that would make me even happier because I love being on a complete and total new surface with everybody on servers and stuff like that, MMOs. So.
Yeah.
But they're going to do what they're going to do. I mean, I understand they still want their extra revenue stream coming in, but let the microtransaction stuff come through as long as it's not,
But what if it's weapons, like a powerful
weapon and stuff like that? I think the microtransaction things are just fluff, right?
Well, there is one thing you can buy where it brings you up to a certain level, so it automatically. But they only release that after. Yeah. So they only released that after the expansions came out, so people could get up to that level to start the new expansions and everything. So I don't think it'll be there right off the bat.
Yeah, and I think there's a general understanding too that microtransactions are for one game.
Yeah.
It's not for. I mean, for example, like I play Madden Ultimate Team every year, and I'll spend some money on that, and I don't expect my 95 overall team or 98 overall team to carry to the next year, right? So.
You know what I did notice, Kai, about that though? This year they didn't give us gold or whatever it is money for our past what we did the year before. With the hut. I mean FUT and stuff like that. No hut, no football.
Yeah.
But,
football, Madden Ultimate Team.
Yeah, Madden Ultimate Team. Yeah, they didn't give us a coin bonus. They did that in 15 to 16.
Yeah, no, there wasn't one. I don't remember getting one.
No, you didn't get one this year.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with having to kind of start from scratch. But yeah, so that's what will be carrying over from Destiny 1 to 2. Battlefield 1, if you're a big fan of that, played that yesterday actually. Battlefield 1's first DLC, They Shall Not Pass, has got an official release date of March 28th, and if you're a premium pass member, you can play it on March 14th. So, coming up soon.
Really?
What I think
my eyes. Sorry, I was gonna say I got my eyes out for deals on that the pass.
Yeah, it'll be soon if they're gonna do it, or they'll wait till after that 2-week period and then do it. But in what could be exciting news for a lot of people, Gearbox may have shown the first footage of what could be Borderlands 3 this week at GDC. Randy Pitchford was up there from Gearbox showing off how this new tech creates shadows and all this good stuff. But everything in there was shown in the Borderlands world. So they didn't actually say it was Borderlands 3, but they didn't say it wasn't.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to see. I would guess E3 for that.
Yeah, well, and they need some kind of world to show this, right? And this is something that's easier. So I wouldn't get too excited, but I'm sure it's in the make. So
they've already said it's in the making.
Okay.
Yeah,
so.
They announced that like last E3 that it's in the making. They're already working on it. So
and it's a foregone. It's their most successful franchise.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a foregone conclusion they're going to do it. Didn't they do what was it, Battleborn?
Yeah, they did Battleborn flop horribly because it came out the same week as Overwatch. So
yeah. So they need to bring their tentpole franchise back and get some revenue generated. So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I love those games. That they got the multiplayer right in that game. The way you work together and pretty much 4-person co-op and attack missions and stuff. And it's couch co-op too.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing about it.
But all of a sudden, if this is true, and so let's say it comes out this fall, which I doubt, but you never know. This fall's getting really full.
Yeah.
Really
much
quick.
Like every other fall.
This one almost even more so because you got Middle Earth now. You've got you're gonna have Call of Duty every year. You got Star Wars Battlefront 2. You're gonna see a major title from Microsoft to launch alongside Scorpio.
Yeah.
We know we're getting, all your big sports titles and all that stuff. We're going to get Forza 7. And I know I'm missing one other huge. Oh,
I know, I was
Red
thinking
Dead 2.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
so this fall's already getting really full. So we'll see kind of what what happens, but I have a feeling it's going to be an expensive fall.
I don't know about you, Ty, but that Red Dead's going to be a day one, and the rest are going to be wait till the price drops in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, for some, yes, some no. Not my sports games won't be, and
oh yeah,
Battlefront I'll probably get right away. But all right, lastly, the Ghost Recon Wildlands beta had over 6.8 million players with over 34 million hours played. That makes it the most played Ubisoft beta ever, breaking the record set by For Honor the month before. So a lot of people are really excited about this game.
Yep, like I told you when I came to her house and I saw it, I said this is what the Division should have been.
Mm-hmm.
The Division is like it's terrible compared to this game. This game looks amazing.
Have any of us played the beta?
I did not play the beta, but I did watch a whole bunch of it.
You watched it, eh?
Yep.
This game comes out March 7th, and funny side story here, the government of Bolivia actually filed a formal complaint with the French government, because Ubisoft is based in France, for the depiction of their country in the game.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. And Ubisoft said that, that country was chosen for its landscape and all that type of thing because it's a beautiful country. It was chosen for that reason. But they do not like the fact that it's made out to be like this war-torn, drug-riddled country. When it truly really isn't, at least not compared to some other South American countries. So,
I mean, people have tried this before, and I even think, didn't some country try to sue Activision over Noriega? You remember
yes,
in Call of Duty?
I do.
In Call of Duty, I think it was the first Black Ops. Somebody complained, and I think, is that guy still alive, Noriega? He's in prison, right?
I don't know. I think he might be dead now.
I think he was.
I don't know.
If he is still alive, I think he was involved with that lawsuit on the way he was depicted in that, and it got shot down in court because it is a fictional game and it's based on historical reference. Like he was a bad guy. No one can Oh
yeah, he was a drug.
He is over the Panama Canal crisis and all that, and we put him in charge over there, and then he basically defected and ran his own country, became a huge dictator, and so it's crazy.
Yeah, he was Panama.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
It's not the first time we've seen people have a fit over something in a game. Remember?
He is in jail. He's about to get out though.
Yeah.
He got a 7-year sentence in 2010.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. He tried to sue Activision for falsely depicting his character.
Yeah, something like that.
Which isn't true at all. He's a horrible person. That's why you're in prison.
Yeah.
But if you remember Modern Warfare 2, the airport sequence in that game, that got a lot of people riled up.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think there were some things filed over that too, protests and whatever, complaints filed and whatever. So it's not the first time we've seen it, and it won't be the last.
Don't play the game if you don't like it.
Exactly, just don't play it. It's really that simple. So, all right, everybody, that does it for news this week. Graham, let's turn over to you. What can we get new in stores this week?
Well, there's not a lot going on for major title releasing this week.
It wasn't much last week either.
No, either was last week. But I'm going to start with...
I was trying to get you going.
But I'm going to start with multi-platform games, and then I'm going to cover exclusives. So let's get started. Two of the bigger known titles getting released this week are Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. You heard Tyler talk about that. Seems like everyone really liked the beta, so it's probably going to be well worth buying if you guys are looking for a game in that genre. And also is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, Ghost Recon Wildlands will be released on March 7th, and it's available for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. And Marvel vs. Capcom 3 will be released on March 6th for the PC, and then on the 7th for Xbox One. Getting released on both PS4 and PC is Loot Rascals. This game gets released on March 7th for both systems. And for both the Xbox One and PS4, LEGO Worlds will be released on March 7th as well. Now, other games being released on PS4 this week are Nier Automata and Atelier Ferris, The Alchemist, and The Mysterious Journey. Sounds exciting.
You butchered those titles.
Oh, I probably did because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
A lot of people are excited about Nier Automata. So.
Okay. Well, you see how these are written down, and like how is this pronounced?
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah, Nier looks fantastic.
you guys can send your hate mail to my pronunciation. I'm okay with that.
You will.
Xbox exclusives for this week are as follows. On the 8th, you can get Verdun, and on the 10th, Too Dark, also Tabletop Racing World Tour. Now, seeing we got a new system, we also have 2 games for the Switch being released this week, so it should bring that to a total of maybe 10 games. Both will be available on the 9th, and they are Voyez and Blaster Master Zero.
Old Blaster Master.
Oh, yes. So get your games, get your systems, and start playing. That's all I got for everyone.
All right. Thank you, Mike. What can we save money on this week?
All right, we're going to go with the games with gold for March right now. We got Layers of Fear available all month long. Halfway through the month, we're going to have Evolve Ultimate Edition. Borderlands 2 is available right now on the 360, and Heavy Weapon will be on the second part of March. Okay, PS4. This is what's for free this month. We got Tearaway Unfolded. We've got Under Night in Birth. We have Earth Defense Force 2025 and Lumo. So that's what you get for free with PlayStation this month. Xbox deals. Let's see here. We got Target. All video games are buy 2 get 1 free right now. Xbox Digital Mirror's Edge Catalyst is $8 via Amazon. Let's see here. Dishonored 2 is $30 or $23.99 GCU via Best Buy. Fallout 4 is $15.99 GCU Best Buy, and so is Doom. Let's skip over to there are no real good console deals right now because of what just came out with the Nintendo. Oh, here we go. Western Digital 4 terabyte My Passport portable hard drive is $109.99 via Newegg right now. 4 terabytes for $100. It's pretty amazing. All right, now we're over to the PS4 deals. Let's see here. Physical Doom for PS4 is $15.99 at Best Buy as well. PS4 is also involved in the buy 2 get 1 free at Target, and actually so is Switch. So Grand Theft Auto is $30 at Amazon. Probably about as low as I've seen it for PS4 as far as I can remember. Both Watch Dogs 2 and Dishonored 2 are $23.99 at Best Buy right now. Skyrim SE Steelbook version $30 on Amazon right now. Battlefield 1 $29.99 on PSN until March 7th. So you got 2 days right now. DualShock 4 wireless controller 2016 version $45.99 at eBay.com. And that's pretty much what we got going on for that right now. So let's skip over to, there's no real Switch deals right now. I mean, they're basically just telling you where to get them right now, where you can walk in. Walmart seems to have a good amount of them according to what I'm seeing over here. And 3DS deals. There's a couple. All 3DS games are buy 2 get 1 free also at Target, so you get in on that. Bravely Second in Layers $20 right now on the online store. Pokemon Sun and Moon Steelbook, used in very good condition, is $60.44 on Amazon right now. They're actually doing, GameStop's doing a buy 2 get 1 free for the DS right now as well, until the end of today. So much for that. Dragon Ball Fusions is $22.50 right now on Amazon. And on Jet.com, Nintendo products, 15% off with the code TRIPLE15. Ends 4/1/17. So you got all month to get on that one. And that's pretty much going to do it for me, gentlemen.
All right, sounds good. Let's move into what we've been playing, and I'm going to go first before the love fest ensues.
Oh, God.
And I played some Battlefield 1. I played some Titanfall 2. Played NHL 17 as usual. I did actually start WWE 2K17.
Oh yeah, how is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Got a little bit into it, and not too far yet, but just kind of the starting off career mode and all that type of thing. And what I really want to talk about though is yesterday I got to play the technical alpha for Sea of Thieves.
Oh,
so
lucky.
Yeah, so it was only for 3 hours. I played for a little over 2 hours. Man, this game is fun. Yes, there's just so much cool stuff to do in it. So basically what it is you start off on a ship, you head to an island, so you got a map, and from that map you go into your ship, like down to the first level down below, and there's like a whole table map, and you match up the little fold-out map that you have to find out which island you're looking for. Navigate your way there. Try to find the treasure on the island. You also want to get resources like the wooden planks and bananas because that'll help your health. The wooden planks will help you repair your ship if you're ever in a battle, which we were in several.
Yes.
And that.
Good job dropping the anchor there, Raz.
Yeah, and then Raz came and played with us too. It was just a ton of fun. If you get the treasure, you got to get back to port with it to actually kind of cash it in. So there's decisions involved. Like, do you want to keep going to the next island and keep trying to load up before you go? Because if you get attacked and your ship is sunk, it's gone. So we were in when I was playing, there was one instance where there were actually 3 ships all fighting each other, which was really fun and chaotic. So you're firing the cannons and you're heading below to fix the leaks in the ship. What they had for us was 4 players would be matched up with each other through matchmaking, and you work as a team of 4 as the crew on the ship to man the ship and then head around, scavenge the islands as you stop on them. But I'll tell you that I played for probably a little over 2 hours, and it didn't even seem like that. It seemed like I was playing for like a half an hour. The time just flew by. I see this being a game that it's easy for us to like get into, play with people in our community, and you look up and it's been like 7 hours. So just a ton of fun. Mike, you played a little bit too. Anything to add on that?
No. It's a lot of fun. I mean, when you're steering the ship, you can actually feel like it's pulling against you and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's nothing is really just you actually have to have teamwork because, like I said, they're like, "There's a ship, turn it." I'm like, "Okay." So I go up there and they fire off the cannons, and Raz are like, "I'm gonna go drop the anchor." I'm like, "Wait, no, boom." And then the anchor says right in front of the ship, and they're just like, fire.
Yeah, we got sank.
Done.
We got sunk. Yeah. There's tons of little stuff you can do. Like we're trying to read the map on the table, and it's like super hard to read because it's dark. So we're trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden, Raz walks up to the table with the lantern. He's like, "Does this help?" It's so little details like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Make it so cool, and you have to like manually raise and lower, the sails, and turn them. And do all that stuff. You can get drunk on the ship. One guy in our crew actually got so drunk, and the screen gets distorted, and it's impossible to walk straight.
Yep.
So one guy got so drunk on the ship that he fell off the ship.
He fell off the ship.
Yeah.
We don't need him anyway.
But I was playing. I mean, it was me and Raz when I was playing, and then when Mike was playing, it was him and Raz, and then that's 2 random people.
Yeah.
And we're all talking to each other and laughing and having a great time with people that we'd never met before.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, and that reminds me of the old days of Xbox.
Yes.
When people got on and just had a good time.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
And I think that this game's going to bring that back in a lot of ways, and I think this game's going to be awesome. This is probably now my most anticipated game of the year after playing that alpha.
I really hope it's successful because from what you're saying, it sounds awesome, and I really want to play it. It reminds me of Assassin's Creed Black Flag because the best part of that game was getting your ship,
absolutely,
getting into ship battles, finding treasure, going to islands, finding secret spots. That was the best part of the game. So this makes me want to relive that, and then the multiplayer aspect as well. So how many people can be on your team on your ship?
So it's 4. It was 4 yesterday. Now I don't know if they'll increase that. We were kind of talking. We're kind of hoping they increase it to 6.
Yeah.
But with 4, there's something for everybody to do.
Yeah.
And that makes it really fun. And then even when you're on the islands, it's not like the treasure maps are self-explanatory. You kind of have to figure out where on the island you are versus where the X is.
And you need to find a shovel.
Because when you're looking at the map, there's no like you are here pinpoint.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So you have to figure it out and find it, and then you use the shovel to dig. And Raz found the treasure like right away when he found the spot. So he's played a couple of the different alphas that have been out.
Yeah.
And this is the first one I got into play. So it probably took a good like 15 minutes to kind of get the hang of what you're doing and what it's all about. But after that, it's pretty easy to pick up and go.
Yeah.
And just have a great time with.
Yep. And they will have different sized ships too, and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Because they can't do a one size fits all. You know, you got to have your fast ships. You got to have your big, bulky, slow ships. You got to have everything going on.
Part of me hopes that they keep the the leveling up and customization and crap out of it. Just so it's focused on just having fun with the people you're playing with.
Oh yeah,
not about who's got higher what or whatever, you know.
Better ships and higher ranks, and
that I could see ruining it. So I hope they don't go too far down that road. But there was none of that yesterday in the alpha.
No.
So
one size fits all.
Yep. So we'll see what it brings. And my only thing is when I filled out the survey they sent this morning and sent it back to them, you know, I just hope the world is really good size.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff you can explore and do. But it felt right, though, for how few people were playing it, because the size of the world felt right, because we still ran into other players. We still had plenty of ship battles. And there's still plenty of time where you can go and go explore islands without feeling like you're under siege constantly. So it was a perfect balance, I thought, and it's I hope they can keep that balance for the retail release, because if they do, this is going to be an awesome game.
Yep.
So, all right, now it can be fanboy time. Mike, you want to go first before it's fanboy time?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So actually, I dug into my uninstalls, and I did reinstall Shadow of Mordor. I reinstalled the Stick of Truth too, and put in like 3 or 4 hours into that last night. Installed Bully and installed Skate 3. Let's see, I haven't played those two yet though, but I did play Hand of Fate, Fallout Shelter, NHL 17 For Honor, Battlefield 1. I tried to play Shovel Knight, but it just was messing with my eyes, so I just left it alone. But that's pretty much it for me, man. I just played a lot of different games this week.
All right, cool. All right, gentlemen, I understand some game came out this week that you want to talk about.
Some game. Everyone's talking about it right now.
Says you.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
So I'll go first with the games I've been playing other than the Switch and Zelda, which is my game of the year so far. So earlier this week I played a little bit of Halo 2. Also played a little bit of Rocket League, and I played some NHL with you guys as well this last weekend. So had a good time there. When Tuesday came around, I got my collector's edition of Horizon Zero Dawn, which I cannot stress how important this game is and how great this game is. That if you have a PlayStation, that you need to buy this game, because it is a fantastic game. Especially if you don't have a Switch and you don't have Zelda. Buy this game, because if you like Shadow of Mordor, if you liked Assassin's Creed, if you like Far Cry, if you like Tomb Raider, it's a good mix of all those fantastic games. The story is very interesting. I played probably around 5 hours into it. Haven't leveled up too much, but the story is what gets me, and all the everything the critics have said about this being the prettiest game on the PS4 is true. It is a gorgeous game. Has a photo mode, just like some of the other games that have come out, where you can play with photos, and it's just a great game. I can't recommend it enough if you have a PS4. So, Tyler, Mike, I recommend you guys trying this game out, especially since I know you guys probably won't be playing Zelda anytime soon. Maybe next week for you, Tyler.
Maybe next week for me.
Yeah. So, Thursday came around, and I went to the midnight release of Switch. And I guess, Graham, if you want to cut in with the other games that you played, and we can kind of talk about our experiences with the midnight release and all that stuff together.
Yeah, no, I also did the midnight release as well, and it was a great atmosphere. I would say there was probably a good 200 people there waiting in line.
Wow.
It was a really long process. By the time I got home, it was 2 a.m. I might have played 20 minutes of Zelda, maybe half an hour, I don't even know. And then I forced myself to go to sleep because I had work early in the morning. The whole time I was at work, I was like, I just want to go home and play it. I pretty much told everyone the weekend is a write-off for me, so don't ask me to do any work. And yeah, but overall, yeah, the experience of going in line and getting it, it was, like I said, it was a long wait, but there's like-minded people, lots of Zelda fans, lots of people had their 3DSs, so got some street passes.
Graham,
So
how many
yeah, it
people
was,
were dressed up?
and nobody was actually dressed up actually.
Okay.
Uh,
Eugene, anyone?
No, I didn't see anybody dressed up, but I really want to.
Impressive.
I had a pretty good experience. I went to game. I didn't go out too early. Of course, GameStop opened the doors at 6, where you could line up and claim your Switch and claim all the stuff that you bought. I really want to commend GameStop and Best Buy for the experience I had with them. So first off, my GameStop, they called me that morning and reminded me like, hey, you can pick up your Switch at midnight. You can pick up your Switch at midnight tonight. You can actually get here at 6, and at like 9 o'clock, you can go ahead and pre-ring yourself out, so that way you can get out quickly. I asked him a question while I had him on the phone. So when I pre-ordered the Switch, I pre-ordered the gray hardware. I wanted the neon hardware though. My girlfriend wanted the blue and red controllers, so I asked him, "Hey, this wasn't available. Do you have any where I can actually just switch them out and get the color that I want?" He said, "Well, let me talk to my district manager and see if we can do that. If it's not an issue, we'll go ahead and do it for you." And I'll give you a call back if we're able to do it. He never gave me a call back, but when I got there, I'm like, hey, I called, I asked a question because they only had 2 of the colors.
Only
The
2,
colored
eh?
ones.
Wow.
Yeah, they
What
only
are you
had
calling
2.
colored?
They only had 2 of the colored switches, the multicolored neon ones. Um, so I'm like, hey, I called earlier. I don't know if I'm able to do this. And he's like, oh, you're Eugene? No problem. We're going to go ahead and do that. And they swapped out my gray one with the colored one. Um, and so I prepaid out everything, and it ended up being about $550 for everything I got with the Switch and the extra controller and the strategy guide and all that. I got the Zelda Special Edition. Paid it out. I left there around 9:30. I went to Best Buy to see what was going on over there because I had my Pro controller over there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so
So
I picked
wait,
it.
you said it was a midnight launch, but you said got in there at 9?
Yeah,
He,
so I
he
got
could
in there
pay.
at 9, and I prepaid everything. So
Oh, okay.
that way at midnight, whenever they actually handed them out, I don't have to worry about paying. They can just hand you your stuff and go.
Yeah.
I went over to Best Buy and they did the same thing. You can go ahead and get the items, and they basically lock you in the store at 11. They lock you in the store and they're like, hey, here's all the Switch stuff. Grab what you want. Here's the line for your pre-orders. If you pre-order something, you can go ahead and pick it up, but we'll open the doors at midnight so you can leave with your stuff. So directly after Best Buy went back to GameStop, um, I had prepaid all my stuff. They put a number on my receipt. The second I walked in the door, they're like number 6. I'm like, oh, I'm number 6. All I had to do was walk up to the counter. They had all my stuff bagged up for me. So that way they didn't have to go through the hassle of like, oh, what'd you have again? They had it all ready and they handed it to me, and I walked out the door with all my stuff at 12:01.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah,
Because
it was a great. And there's probably at Best Buy there was maybe 50 people, and at GameStop there's maybe 50 people. So I heard them call out the number, and I walked through the crowd and said, "Hey, I'm number 6," and
see,
they just handed
the
me my stuff.
yeah, the issue with me was it was in a mall, so it's not like you could like have in a store and like that. So they were trying to keep everybody all organized. But they had 45 switches at this one for walk-ins for people who didn't pre-order.
Hmm.
So I was number 41 in line. When I got up there, because he was handing out numbers, he's like, "That's it. There's no more." And I'm like, "You serious? Like I'm the cutoff point?" He's like, "Just 1 second." So he went into the store and he come back. He's like, "Okay." He goes, "I got 5 more." So me and the next 4 people end up getting a number for our Switch, and this was at like probably 9 o'clock, maybe just after. So then we had to get in line and wait till midnight come along, and then they were letting people in the store like one person at a time. And in front of me there's people with pre-orders and walk-ins, and behind me there's like 4 other people, like I said, with their walk-ins and lots of pre-orders. So, like I said, I probably got out of there like 2 in the morning because they were only letting one person in store at a time, which really
Oh
made
wow.
it a long, lengthy process. And there was probably a good 30 or 40 people behind me still. And like I said, this was like 2, so I imagine people didn't get home till like 3:30. So
Yeah, I was
there's
pretty
probably a lot
happy.
of people that got in late for work.
I was like I was home at like 12:40. I got out of there pretty quickly. So GameStop and Best Buy are about 30 minutes away from me, so I had to drive for it. So, but yeah, they had Best Buy even had they had still tickets available, and there's about 50 people there. As far as I saw, no one had pre-ordered one. But they had extra tickets by at the end of the night. They're still trying to hand them out. Like, hey, does anybody else want to switch? We have extra. They had like 10 extra tickets.
Oh, really?
So they actually got a good amount of switches. I know GameStop they only got about 6. They got 4 gray and 2 of the neon. And there's already people there. Whenever I went there at 9, they're laying on the floor and like they've been there all day apparently. So same thing with Best Buy. There's some tents out there where people were waiting, which wasn't even necessary. You didn't have to camp out because they had all the extra. So I thought the midnight launch went pretty well in my area, and I know Walmart even they did the same thing. They had extra switches. They had a pretty good pre-order process, so everyone that got one at Walmart had a good experience here too. But moving on. I played the Switch. I didn't even play that night. I set it up and made my profile and everything. Didn't get to play until the next day. I booted it up and played with the features. It is very simple right now. The UI it flows nicely. The sounds are nice. The graphics are nice. But it's very basic right now. They don't have a lot of features. So basically, there's a profile. The profile has your name and your friend code, and then your friends list is also included in that. So you still have to add somebody by their friend code with the Switch, which I'm pretty disappointed about. I'm pretty sure they said somewhere where friend codes aren't needed anymore. You can just use the user ID. So it's
But I wonder if that's because multiple people have the same user ID, or would they be like, this one's taken?
Uh, it's possible. So like right now, my name is just my name, Eugene. So
Yeah.
so I'm sure that might be a reason, but your friend code is the same friend code that's attached to the Wii U, and 3DS. It's your same friend code as far as I know. So all your accounts are linked together. So I'm really hoping that whenever they launch the virtual console, so no virtual console on day one either. So that was something
Yeah.
else that they said that they were going to shoot for. So no virtual console. The rest of the UI, there's settings. There's your settings, your profile. Um, what else is there? Controllers. There's an option for controllers
And
and
you can take
eShop.
pictures. That's
Yeah,
the
you
word
can.
for it.
So yeah, exactly. The Switch can take screenshots. So it has your photos there, and it has a news link, and that's it. That's all that's on the Switch. You can't download any apps. You really can't add anything to the user face. So the user interface is very, very simple right now. That's one of the reasons I think that it has rated so low right now. I think IGN gave it a 6.5, I believe. Um,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't have given it a rating that low, but for a launch console, there's only 7 games available, which I got 2 of them. So only 7 games available, no virtual console, friends list are broken. Um, there's no way to play online right now because there's no online games except for Bomberman. So really can't test that out. So I can understand these low ratings.
Yeah. Well, another thing about the low rating as well, they did have desyncing issues as well at the time, right?
Yes,
But
and
the
actually,
day one patch fixed that, and I've
mm,
not experienced any problems with
I
that
had syncing
whatsoever.
issues. I haven't had any issues with Zelda because I've been playing with the Pro controller. But last night, my girlfriend's family came over and we played 1-2 Switch, and the person with the left Joy-Con desynced a couple of times, but it was 1 or 2 times that it happened, and all you have to do is just get back in range.
Yeah.
So you can't have any obstructive views of the console
Which is
when
kind of tough too with 1-2 Switch being the type of game where you got to hold it in different positions and
exactly.
like pretend you're
Yeah.
eating it and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and the
So
game doesn't pause whenever it desyncs. It keeps going. So if
Speak.
you're playing with somebody and it desyncs, they win basically. Or with Zelda, if it desyncs, you're using the Joy Cons, you die because it doesn't pause the game because the controller desynced. What were you gonna say, Mike?
Speaking of eating, there, Grammy, you got your cartridge ready for the tongue test?
I sure don't.
So I did the tongue test, and there is a bittergent agent on it. Because I saw the videos online, so of course I had to try it. It's the same. If you ever use the air duster, like the spray can of air,
Yeah.
canned air. They put that bittergent in it, and you can kind of, if you get it on your fingers or something, and you eat something, you can kind of taste it. It tastes exactly like that. It's very
Hmm.
bitter. So I can understand the cartridges are small. They are tiny. They're smaller than a DS cartridge. Um, they're a little bit smaller than an SD card even. They might be a little bit thicker, but they are tiny cartridges. So I can understand a baby or animal eating those, and that's why they did that. I don't. They didn't do it with the DS cartridges, so I don't know why they picked the Switch to do it. Maybe because they are a little bit smaller, but yeah, they are tiny, tiny cartridges. The cases that they come in are about the size of a PSP game case, if you guys remember those.
Yep.
They're very small as well, but
Mm-hmm.
DCG issues I can totally understand. I don't know if you had this issue, Graham, but uh, have you used the Joy-Con wrist strap at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
So
so
basically, I've been using it docked mostly, but sometimes I take it off or whatever, and like been playing like Zelda, just moving around the house. But mostly, it's just been docked, and I've been having sliding into that insert. I don't know what that controller's called or whatever, but I've had no problems with it.
I've had no issues with it. Actually, the first day I did have an issue. It didn't click in all the way, and I didn't realize until I was actually playing with the in handheld mode a little bit. It came off.
Okay.
So if you don't make sure that clicks all the way down, there is an issue. But with 1-2 switch, you have to between in the mini games. First off, I hated that it only starts you off with 5 games, 5 games right off the bat. So you have uh, ping pong, table tennis. You have some beach run game where you have to run to a flag and pick up the flag. You have the quick draw game and a couple other games I can't think of. But you cannot unlock the other 30 games unless you play those 5 games, which is you have to play a couple of games of each, which I did not like because we're drinking, and the last thing I want to do when I'm drinking and want to play a video game is to run on a beach and wave my arms and stuff. So I let the kids do that. I'm like, hey kids, play this game and beat it until we unlock these games. So I put it off on them so they could have fun with that. But we played it a little bit and we actually had a lot of fun. Some of the games are flops. They don't make sense. There's one game where you have to I don't even get it, but basically you shake some dice, you flip the cup over, and you have to psych your opponent out into thinking whoever has the highest cup total wins. So you have to psych your other person out. It doesn't make sense to me. We couldn't figure out, so we're like, we're not going to play this game. Um,
Have you had to guess how many ice cubes are in the glass yet?
so there, that game is not on there as far as I know. But there is one with the balls, where you're
You
holding a
like
box.
balls.
Yeah, so we're holding balls, and you have to guess. And that HD Rumble, it is no joke. Like when they talked about the HD Rumble, you can fill. So imagine you're holding a little wooden box, and there's 6 little metal balls rolling around in there, and it's closed. And imagine you rolling that around. It feels exactly like that. It is so
And like
precise.
6 of them too, eh? Like you can
Yeah,
tell that.
you
Wow.
can count, and it's kind of hard when you have more balls in the box, and you're trying to guess if there's like 8 balls in there, because so you move it to one side and you're slowly rolling it, and the balls are rolling at the bottom. But the further vertical you go with the Joy-Con, the balls at the bottom, kind of shuffle and condense down, so it kind of confuses you a little bit. So, um, but it is very, I can totally understand the ice cube shaking why they did that demonstration at their press conference,
Okay, I gotta
because
ask you too, because you got a newborn on the way really soon. Did you
Mhm.
try the practice of putting the baby to
We
sleep and
didn't do
not
the
waking it?
baby because the baby requires.
What?
So there is so this is my complaint about 1-2 Switch is every mini game has a different mode of controls that you have to use. So some of them require that you take the wrist strap off, the extension off. Some of them require the baby one requires you to attach your Joy Cons to the Switch and pick up the Switch. Because you're like holding a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
So we didn't play that because of that reason, because we're playing the multiplayer, the games with it. Um, but so that gets to my point about the wrist strap. So I'm having a huge issue taking the wrist strap extension on and off.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I've had the same thing
Yeah,
because I
so
tried it and I'm like, is this actually on right or
yeah,
like, am I doing this right?
yeah, I thought I had broken it, or there's something really difficult getting those wrist strap attachments off. We had to struggle several times putting them on. Putting them on was easy. Getting them off is the hard part,
Hmm.
because there's a lock at the bottom. You unlock it, and then you press the button, and you try to get it off, and it's still locked on there. So that's one issue that I do have with it. But 1-2 switch, even drinking couldn't save that game. Uh,
Really, eh?
it should have been a pack-in title. It wasn't worth $50. I don't see myself ever playing it again. Played it
Wow.
last night, group of people. We had fun, but we actually ended up turning it off and playing Jackbox Party Pack,
You
which is a
should
farce.
you should
Yeah,
go trade it in now.
no, I don't. Well, I'll still keep it because there might be some because it does really show you the features of the game. But I think I'll still keep it. But um, it's just for what you get. It's not that fun. I don't see
So,
me and my girlfriend just playing it together. You definitely can't play it by yourself. Um, so I don't know.
if you had to pick one favorite from the games, what would you choose?
The cow milking actually is really fun.
Oh
Cow
yeah.
milking. The boxing is actually a workout. Like it's no joke. The boxing, it how you play boxing is basically it tells you the moves on the screen. Like it shouts out right hook, uppercut, straight punch, and then at the very end you have to do a rapid fire where you're punching. But man, it's a workout and a half to go through that routine of that game. So
Cool.
All
yeah.
right, let's transition into Zelda. So I
Yeah,
know you guys
because
both played that.
basically that was the only one that I bought. I got the special edition, same as Eugene. I really can't say so so many good things about this game.
So don't
Like,
spoil, but go ahead and
I
guys
will
share
not
what you
spoil
think.
it. But like, it's got survival aspects. The exploration is amazing. It's so much fun. You just climb mountains and just like paraglide all around, and there's like tons of shrines too, which have puzzles, and there are no shortage of these. So there's lots of puzzles. I haven't seen a lot in the world of dungeons, but I know they're out there because it's typical Zelda. But yeah, no, it's so much fun. But yeah, what do you think, Eugene?
Oh man, I
Back.
want to touch upon the exploration of this game. So um, no game has really mastered exploration like this game has. Even Skyrim, even this game, anywhere that you see, you can go. Any mountain that you see, you can climb it.
Yeah,
It doesn't stop you from going anywhere. If you can
no,
see it, you can get to it somehow. Even some of the mountains, it may seem like you have a stamina bar, right? So you can only climb so far without having to actually stand somewhere and take a break. And it may seem like you can't get up that mountain, but once you find the route that you need to take, um, you'll get up that mountain. So the exploration in this game is superb. Um,
and another thing too, I find this game is quite challenging. Like I've died numerous times, whether I'm climbing and I run out of stamina and I fall, but like it's never been to the point of frustrating. It's like, okay, well,
oh
I'll try
no,
something different. Like, or another thing too, like the weather system is amazing. And I've heard people talk about it, but I didn't get experience. But there's like lightning storms, and you could be holding like a metal object, and you attract lightning. So
hmm
you can even die from lightning if it's in a lightning storm.
yeah. So yeah, definitely weather does play a part in this game. I was doing a quest earlier where you have to light some. You have to bring a fire somewhere basically,
Hmm.
and if it's raining, you can't carry that fire with you on the torch. So you have to wait till it stops raining for you to be able to complete the quest. So yeah, that's pretty awesome that weather actually plays an effect in this game. This is by far the best Zelda game I've ever played. It definitely gets a 10 out of 10 in my book. I haven't run into any glitches so far. The only issues I've been having are slight frame rate issues.
Yeah,
Whenever
that's
you're
the only thing I've ran into as well.
yeah, so slight frame rate issues when it's really busy on the screen. But this game is gorgeous. It is a beautiful game. Um, it's definitely worth a try. But I can't go enough into the exploration and then also the customization too. So in the past with Zelda, you only basically get like three or four swords and you get your tunics. You have three different tunics, but
Yeah,
there's so much apparel in this game.
yeah,
Different tunics do different things. At the very beginning of the game, you have to go up on a cold mountain. So going back to weather, you know, in past Zelda games, you could be in a snowy area or you could be in a fiery area and it wouldn't affect you. But now um, you have to have warmer clothes to go up on in a colder area. So if you don't
yeah.
have the right clothing, then you die. So you have to find the right clothing, or you have to eat a certain food that gives you cold resistance. Never before has Zelda done anything like that. I mean, they had the
No.
fire tunic where you could walk on fire basically and not get burned, but the level of customization in this game, the different swords that you have. One complaint I do have about the game is that your weapons break all the time, but there is no shortage of weapons in this
Yeah, I
game.
was just gonna say there is no shortage, but I think I haven't seen it yet, but I think you can get things repaired. I haven't
Yeah,
seen it yet, but I think the game kind of hints that this could happen.
so I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a blacksmith to pop up because there are some items that so your shields can break, your bows can break. You have tools in this game, so you have an axe, you have uh, a big sledgehammer where you can break rocks and collect minerals. And that's another aspect of this exploration too. Is you collect items in this game, so you collect fish.
Yep.
There's different kinds of fish. There's different kinds of meat. There's all kinds of vegetables and flowers in this game where you can craft items, craft food.
I like how too the crafting is you hold 5 items actually in your arms and you can see
Mhm.
the 5 items and then you throw them into a pot and then it turns into like elixir or like a meal or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So
Like
once you
lots
once
of little fine details in this game that just look amazing and work really well.
Yeah, I mean they didn't hold anything back with the Zelda game. It's not a traditional Zelda game. It's a lot more closer to The Witcher or
Yeah,
Skyrim. The way
I was just gonna say
exploration
Witcher. Yep.
is,
Yep.
yeah, the way that exploration is, the way food crafting is. So imagine all that in the Zelda universe with everything. I'd probably put in maybe 10 to 12 hours in this game, and the majority of it has just been exploring, trying to get to areas that I see, trying to activate as many towers as you can.
Yeah.
But you can only get so far, like in Skyrim, for example. Once you get access to the map, you can basically travel anywhere. Um, and there's really not too much to kill you. Like you might run to a troll or something, and if you run into a giant, you avoid them and you're fine. But in Zelda, you get to a point where, man, I'm not supposed to be here because these guys are
Yeah.
killing me in one hit. So there's only so far you can go, but um, the heart system is different as well. So these shrines that you talked about, in the past Zelda games, you would beat a dungeon and they give you a heart container, or you would find pieces of hearts, just in various areas of the map, and you collect those and you get a heart. In this game, you complete shrines, which there's shrines everywhere.
Yeah,
There's
there's
shrines
over a
everywhere.
hundred of them.
Yeah, so each shrine has like one puzzle, and some of them I got to one today that is so complicated. But once I figured it out, I was amazed. So I'm gonna try to stay spoiler free. But there's a dun or shrine that I went into where you have to. Do you guys know that game where it's like you have a ball inside of like a case?
Oh, I know the
You have
one
to
you're
go through the
talking. Yeah.
maze. You have to go through a maze and move that ball around by tilting it and everything. Well, you do that in Zelda. There's a puzzle that you do that it's a giant maze and there's a big stone ball and you move your controller to try to get that ball through the maze, and there's a possibility of the ball falling out of the maze because there's holes and things like that. And
Yeah,
then you get
yeah.
to the very end, and then you can pop the ball into a hole that opens the door to the end of the shrine. Um, but very simply, all you have to do is I had to watch a video actually online. I'm like, I cannot get this. I was getting frustrated. I'm like, I'm going to do this later because it's going to take me forever to do this. But all you have to do is flip your controller over. The ball falls off the maze, and another ball falls down. But by you flipping your controller over, it
Okay, don't
flips.
ruin this for me. Stop it.
You basically they really got really crafty with how you
Yeah.
solve puzzles, and once I solved it, I'm like, oh my god, that is ingenious.
Yeah,
That
no.
you're so frustrated with this puzzle, and then they go in there and they're like, oh, it is really this simple, because I was just getting into the maze so much and getting so frustrated, and then it had a very simple solution to it. You just gotta really react with the environment, really react with your controller, and it is very simple after that. So yeah, these shrines, you collect, you get these, what are they called? They're
Orbs.
stones,
They're orbs.
orbs. So you collect these shrine orbs, and you take them to the temple, and you can get heart pieces, or you can get a higher stamina bar. So you're basically leveling up your character, in that means. So I think that's pretty ingenious as well.
Yeah. No, I love it. And like you're talking about the puzzles and stuff like that. So basically, they give you pretty early on in the game, you get the 4 things that you use for all the shrines for solving puzzles, and it's awesome.
Hmm.
And basically, you just use your imagination to come up with ways, and there's not just one right way for some of them. Some of them you can just come up with your own little clever idea. And sometimes they even like even if you go like above and beyond to solve that shrine, they have like hidden chests around too. So you can
Oh
be
yeah.
like, oh, I wonder what if I try to get up to that spot. And then you'll like work your way up there, and you're wondering like, is this just a waste of time? All this stuff I'm doing, and then you get up there, and it's like, oh, there's a treasure chest.
Yeah.
So no, I really like that. Like your imagination is your limit, and you're not forced to do these shrines, which is a really good thing because some people have trouble with puzzles or they don't really want to play puzzles. But if you're playing Zelda, then this kind of comes with the game. But basically, if you want a lot of hearts, then you complete shrines. Because like right now, I could use more hearts. So now I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, maybe I'll just go explore the world and find some of these shrines and do puzzles, and then I'll get more hearts, and then I'll go like battle different areas or whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, I cannot recommend this game enough. It is a fantastic game. It deserves all the praise. Even if you're not a Zelda fan, like I have no, there's no question that Mike, even if you picked up this game, I really think you would
Yeah,
enjoy it
even
as well. Because
Mike.
yeah, yeah, just put
I,
put the name to the side, but just play the game to explore it and to get the story. The story's probably one of the best stories I've heard as well. Um, I mean, there's a point at the beginning of the game where you learn who you are and why you're here, um, and I was just blown away. Uh, this is the best Zelda I've ever played, and I've played some good Zeldas. I mean,
Yeah.
it brings me back to Ocarina of Time, that the change that Ocarina of Time uh, made for the franchise, and they're doing it all over again. So if I had to say like, hey, is this game worth picking up the Switch over? Yes, this
Yeah.
game is worth picking up the Switch over. If you can't get a Switch, and if you have a Wii U, play it on the Wii U because I've seen comparison videos and they look almost identical.
And like
Um,
even if you don't have a Wii U, it's almost worth going out and buying one secondhand or whatever, and then go buy Breath of the Wild for Wii U.
yeah,
So for say $200 or maybe less or a little more, you'll have an amazing experience. And like you guys might be listening, like wow, you guys are like obsessed with
oh, these
Zelda and this stuff.
fanboys, no, no,
But do any kind of research or searching, like pretty much every site's given it a 10 out of 10. Metacritic gave it a 98, which is pretty much unprecedented.
Mhm.
So like it's amazing. And like I've even read stuff where people are like, I'm not a Zelda fan, like don't even like the series, and he's like, but I cannot recommend this game enough. It is great.
Yeah, my
So
question would be: did you like The Witcher? Did you like Fallout? Do you like Final Fantasy? Do you like puzzle games? If you like any of those, you'll enjoy this game. This game is for you. They didn't target a specific audience with this game. Anybody, I can't think of, unless you only strictly play Call of Duty FPSs, or if you strictly play sports. Then I probably wouldn't recommend this for you. But it is an
yeah,
experience.
but the only
Uh,
one.
yeah, it is an experience. If you are a gamer, then experience this game and play this game. It's like me trying to explain, hey, pick up The Last of Us, or hey, pick up Uncharted, or pick up Tomb Raider. That's what this game is. It takes everything I love in regards to exploration and RPG elements. It takes everything from all these great games and it puts it into a Zelda universe, which I'm a Zelda fan anyway, but I haven't really. Whenever I played Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, even, uh, I never finished Twilight Princess. I never finished Skyward Sword because I really didn't get into that universe. Because for the most part, those games are linear. This game is not linear at all. You can go anywhere you want to for the most part. Explore the map and just climb mountains and glide everywhere, and it's an
Yeah.
exciting game. So I can't
All
recommend
right.
it.
Well, I'm hoping, guys, that a week from now I agree with you.
I want to
Um,
hear. I want you to play it, Tyler, and I want you to hear what you got to say about it.
Yeah, because I'll be objective, but I'm not. I'm traditionally not a Zelda guy, so we'll see if your assessment holds up.
So, I didn't go into this thinking that, oh, this game is it's rated high and it's going to be amazing. I didn't go into thinking like that. I went into thinking like, well, let's see if this can, am I going to play this or Horizon? And I'm going to play this. The second I get off this podcast, I'm going to jump right back in because I cannot recommend this game enough for gamers anywhere. And do you guys have any questions about the Switch or the game or anything?
No, we can talk a little bit more about it next week once I get my hands on it too. Just kind of it'll be nice to see because I know you two are really looking forward to the system, right? So I've been sort of indifferent on it. I'm getting it, so we'll see if the kind of the takes on it match up, and that'll be an interesting thing. And I'm not going to go in looking for it to be bad. I just kind of want to see what it's all about. But the only game that interests me at launch is Zelda, honestly. So hopefully.
Yeah, well, that's basically all they have going for them. That's actually scored well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, I think it's great, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait for Mario Kart to come out next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be honest, I'm much more looking forward to like Mario Kart or Super Mario itself, or maybe even Splatoon later, as we head towards the summer, but and into the fall.
But the launch games are Bomberman looks great and everything, but everyone's saying it's not worth $50. And you go online to it's the Switch's only online game right now, which is I understand the reviews because I completely agree with the reviews because there shouldn't be at the time that we're in missing features like that. Can't even download Netflix. That is it's almost
it's inexcusable.
Yeah, it's inexcusable, and it has to be there because that's what I use my Xbox for, and that's what I use my PS4 for. So why can't I do it with the Switch? They should have all that ready. They should have had Virtual Console at launch. I mean, it's a given. It's a given. They should have had that feature. So the console, I agree with the reviews. I give it a 7. Personally. I give Zelda right now with what I give it a 9.7, 9.8.
Why are you giving it a 7 though? I mean, so it functions, but it doesn't do anything that the rest of the consoles do.
Yeah, it functions. That's really what it does. It has.
Yeah, we kind of live in an age though. I mean, the IGNs of the world have trained us that 7 is like okay.
Yeah. Well, it's creative too, and like the way the Joy-Cons come off and they snap into it, and then you got the controller, like. It's really seamless too and works really well. The biggest issue is lack of games. But right now, like Zelda is enough to carry this and convince people just to buy it just for this. But once Zelda's done and over with, they need something else.
I'm not so big on the launch line because we were singing the same tune about Xbox One and PS4 back in 2013. The launch items weren't that big. And we waited until, with Xbox you got Titanfall in March, and then the reason Watch Dogs sold so well in the spring of 2014 was because there was nothing else.
Yeah.
And people were dying to play. I mean, that game set records for sales, and it was because there was nothing else to play. And people were excited to get something new that had promised the world. But I'm convinced that if Watch Dogs had come out in the middle of a console cycle, it never would have sold that well. But it's kind of the same thing. So I'm not worried about the launch lineup. The games will come. It's the Virtual Console bugs me. The fact that I have to send a special code to somebody to add me as a friend is ridiculous. This is 2017. Yeah. And I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. And if you can't have Netflix or Hulu on this thing, that is inexcusable.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It is that's why I said the UI is so simple. It's so basic. It is very minimalist with what it has right now. Who knows? 3 months from now, it'll have everything. But why couldn't they have it at launch? That's my only complaint about it. I haven't. The console's great. The handheld mode is great. I played a little bit of the handheld mode in my bed last night. I mean, it's a good system. It is an okay system. But Zelda is spectacular. But exactly, why can't I watch Netflix on it? That's really my gaming consoles aren't gaming consoles anymore. They're multimedia, multi-entertainment consoles.
They are centerpieces of the living room, is what they are.
And so many people are hating on the IGN review because he keeps comparing it to the Xbox One and PS4, but
Well, tough shit.
that's
That's
the
what we live
standard.
in.
That's the standard. I mean that's how you review something, and by comparing it to something else.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
I was really pissed that everybody compared. Everybody said the Twins suck last year because they compared them to the good teams. I mean, that's not
If
fair.
they're in a league by themselves,
That's not fair.
amazing.
You should compare them to all the other crappy teams.
yeah. I mean, but
Stupid.
overall, it is an okay system. I do think I can only recommend at this time right now Zelda. And Snipper Clips. I didn't really talk about Snipper Clips, but that's a great couch co-op puzzly game. That's a great game as well, and it's very underrated right now. But it's $20 on the eShop if you want to buy it. So, but overall, the system is okay.
Yeah, and all right. So let's move on. We'll talk about it a little bit more next week. Let's get into our questions from the community. I've got a couple of them here via email. So let's jump in. The infamous Stephen Wiseman
Oh, fuck that guy.
has. There's a myth out there that he had a good game the other night in NHL.
Oh, don't.
And
Satisfaction.
it's a myth.
Yeah, let's just move on to the question.
Anyway, his question: which game would you rather see a third a third sequel of? Left 4 Dead, Portal, or Half-Life? Keep in mind, none of these will happen. But which one would you rather see?
That's gonna have to go with Portal. Definitely gonna have to go with Portal. I liked Left 4 Dead 2 a lot, but I mean, honestly, Valve is done with screwing around with games besides Steam stuff.
That's why I said it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
But
Valve's pretty much done with games.
yeah, I loved Portal, but I'll go Left 4 Dead. I just had a really great time. It was one of my first experiences playing co-op with other people that I thought was just a blast.
Well, at least with Left 4 Dead, it was zombies done right.
Yeah. So I thought that was really fun playing with other people.
Yeah.
I agree with Left 4 Dead as well. I mean, I wouldn't say there's not a possibility for Portal, but like you said, they're basically done with games. They're making enough money off Steam, so why invest money into games when they're already making money? I don't see it happening. But Left 4 Dead, like you said, Tyler, it's kind of like Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
That really made online multiplayer. It brought people together.
Mm-hmm.
You brought 4 people into a room. You had one focus, one goal, one objective. You communicated with each other. You helped each other out. It was a time that multiplayer was great on the Xbox. So I would love to see Left 4 Dead come back.
And by the way, if you guys all haven't signed up on Sea of Thieves site yet, do that.
Yeah.
It would be great if we all got a code for things. We could go play the 4 of us and talk about that on the show because I think it's just so much fun.
Yep.
But Graham, what are your thoughts on that question?
Well, maybe because I didn't have the right experience, but I did not like Left 4 Dead at all.
Okay.
And I haven't played any of those other games, but if I had to choose, I would go with Portal because Portal seems like it's the best game.
Didn't Portal 2 win Game of the Year? I think it
did. I think it did.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple videos or stuff on Portal, and I like the whole concept of it, so that's the one I would choose just for that reason.
Also, the best release they ever put out was the Orange Box.
Oh yeah.
That was a fantastic release.
I mean, if they want to make some money and easy to develop, just bring back the Orange Box on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but honestly, I didn't really enjoy Half-Life, and I played Half-Life at a point where I'd already played Call of Duty, I'd already played Battlefield, and then I'd go back and play Half-Life, and that game hasn't aged well at all. I mean, I'm sure for its time, it was a fantastic game, fantastic story, but I couldn't play it. I couldn't get into it. So, Portal is ageless though and timeless. You could really, if you've never played Portal before, play Portal. I would say the same for Left 4 Dead, but probably I don't know who plays Left 4 Dead anymore. But that was a fantastic game.
Left 4 Dead 2 is backwards compatible, by the way. I do own it.
I wonder if there's still.
Oh yeah, there's probably tons of people still playing it.
I'm sure there's a few hundred online.
Yeah. All right, cool. So next question is from Raz.
What up, Raz?
Yeah, he asks, have you guys ever had to change your gamer tag on Xbox or wish you could on PlayStation Network? If so, what was the reason for it? For wanting to change it or having to change it? He said he's had the same gamer tag since day one. Who would like to go first on that?
I'll go.
Okay.
When Evil Unknown was my first one ever when I signed up on the original Xbox. Kind of wanted that one back. I tried a few times with support, but because I didn't have the old information or my old email address that didn't exist because this cable company didn't exist, I couldn't get it back. When I was playing on the 360, I was Blix 360. And so when I went to change my gamer tag to Blix 1, somebody had already taken it for whatever reason. I mean, there's not a lot of people out there that know what Blix actually means. Um, so with that being said, I've heard about them making it so you could get all of these released. They were sorry, the air conditioner was kicked on and messed me up. Um, all these names are being released that nobody had ever used. And it's like 2-letter names and all kinds of stuff. So people managed to jump on like 2-letter names and 3-letter names and stuff. And I typed mine in to see if it was available, and it was, and I snapped it right up. So that's my story. And I keep telling Tyler, Raz, I keep telling Tyler he needs to go back to his old name. It's available.
So I originally, I was a fan of a show called Married with Children, which is a fantastic show. So my original Xbox gamer tag was Albert Bundy. And I changed it, 3 years ago now, maybe 4, to Wild Gopher MN. Just thought we'd get with something a little more current, and something that spoke about me more than having some fictional character. And one of the reasons I did it is that when they did games like 1 versus 100, if you had anything close to like a copyrighted person or a character as your gamer tag, they wouldn't bring you up on stage. That was actually one of the rules. Yep.
Huh.
So that was one of the reasons I did it as well, to make it something neutral that wouldn't do anything like that. So that's the reason I changed it. I do sometimes wish I could change back and have thought about it a couple times. I know it's still available. But for now, I'm cool with the one that I have. So how about you guys? I know, Eugene, you're going to go on about PlayStation.
Yeah,
okay,
I mean, I'm not gonna...
I'll go first then.
Okay.
So originally, when I got my Xbox 360, I got that and Guitar Hero 3 at the same time, and I did not play online. I was not really into playing Xbox that much. So my roommate at the time, I think he just came up with the gamer tag, and I had that. But then when I actually started getting serious about it and playing online, I changed mine to Music Dweller, which was the name that I've had kicking around forever. So
Rainbows shooting out your ass.
that was basically my story. And
Good
as
story.
far as PlayStation, not beyond the
Cool story, bro.
not beyond the change your gamer tag or whatever you want to call it, your PSN ID, is kind of ludicrous. Let people change it because people have aged now. Like PlayStation Network's been out for a long time, so people would like to change it. So just get your shit together and allow people to not have like Mickey Mouse with whatever.
There are people now that are parents that have gamer tags with like
I hate kids or something.
No, with like that have gamer tags with like 42069.
LOL pew 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 42069.
Yeah. It's like
XX.
Yeah. There always has to be the XX at the beginning and the end.
XX underscore Music Dweller underscore XX69.
420 XX.
Pew pew.
All right, Eugene.
Yeah, so I've changed my gamer tag probably around 5 times because guess what? I got my Xbox 360 back in 2008, 2007, 2008. Personalities change, people change, so I've changed my gamer tag several times, and I've been thinking about it. I want one gamer tag, one ID across all platforms, but I can't do that because of PlayStation, which I also got in 2007. So I was a different person back in 2007. So I don't like my PSN ID. I want to change it, but I cannot change it because of Sony. But and really, the Nintendo system, we complain about the friend code, but guess what? I can change my actual ID, my name, anytime I want to for free.
For free.
That
was the thing with Xbox. I paid $20, I think, or
it's
$12.
It's $10.
Yeah. It's probably 12 Canadian, but yeah.
Yeah, 10, so $12.
With your wooden money.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a given. Allow us to change your names, and I like having that feature that if I do change my personality or change what I think, and I might find a cooler name now. Like I want to be able to change it, but I can't do it across all systems. But I do enjoy the feature.
Yeah, cool. All right, Eugene, you sent me on from Facebook. Was it the Zelda one that we already answered at length?
Pretty much. So Brian Richel asked on Facebook. Um, Let me see here. I have a few. How do you like the Switch? How do you like Zelda? We've already answered that. Anything
Yeah.
you would change in Zelda or the system? So the only thing I would change is if it isn't available, which I've looked at forums online, Graham. Uh, from what I've seen, there isn't a blacksmith. So my only complaint is about the game is you get weapons and you might get attached to one. You really like it, the way it acts, because there are heavy weapons, light weapons, there's spears, there's bows and arrows. There's all kinds of weapons that you can get. But once you use it enough, it gets damaged. You can't just equip something else and then go to a blacksmith and repair that weapon. At least as far as I know, it breaks and it goes away forever.
That's kind of like.
But the thing is, like, I haven't found one weapon where I've never been able to find a duplicate of that one.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of duplicates, and I believe what happens is once you go into a shrine or dungeon and you pick up that one weapon you've never seen before, the shield that you never seen before. I found one yesterday that I've never seen before, and then today I was fighting some guys and they had that shield. So I'm like, oh, okay, so there are duplicates of this special shield that I found. So, but once you get attached to something, I'd really like to just take it. I understand. I like the idea that weapons wear down. They don't stay perfect. But in every other game I played, you can go somewhere and get it repaired or put two of them together and make it full health again.
Like Fallout, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you put two together and you have a good weapon again.
So
yeah.
Well, I'll back you up on that too, because for where you have like store momentum in an object where you keep hitting it, I don't like that you can potentially break a weapon. Because I pretty much did that, and I left the shrine with no weapons, and then so I was pretty much just trying to run and avoid everyone because I had like my bow with a few arrows or something like that, but I had no melee weapon except for a torch. So nobody's
and especially the tools. Like so, you have tools like you have a garden hoe, and then you have a hammer. If you accidentally use those, like if you leave it equipped and you accidentally use it against a monster, it'll break. Like I can use my hammer to break 1,000 stones, but I accidentally bring it to battle and I hit somebody with it, it breaks,
Really?
and then I have to go find another hammer so I can break stones to collect ore and things like that. So that is my one. Which there may be a blacksmithing game, I just maybe not found it yet. My other complaint was the inventory system, which I'm a hoarder, especially with games like this, Skyrim. Fallout, I keep everything, but there's always a house to go to and a locker or something where you can put all these items into, which I have heard at a certain point in the game that you do get an option in Zelda. So I can't wait to find that because I can't get rid of anything, all of my crafting items and crafting materials. So hopefully I'll be able to find that soon. But really, I don't have any other complaints about the game. Just that one thing.
All right.
Anything else, Graham?
No, I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
Have you played while taking a poop?
Yes.
Okay. So that was the last part of this question. I have not yet. I haven't really taken it. I haven't taken it out of dock mode yet. I'm going to take it, I think, to work tomorrow so everyone can check it out. Everyone at work has been asking about it, so I'll take it to work tomorrow. But other than that, I like keeping it in the dock. But I do like that option that I'm not locked down. I'm not tied down to the system. And the USB-C, you can. I have iPad chargers. You can just take the cable with you and take your because those things are expensive. They're like $30 if you get the Nintendo branded ones. And I've heard they're proprietary as well, where it knows if you have one, if you have a proprietary, and it won't charge as fast. So I haven't experienced that yet. Because I haven't really taken it with me. But no, I've not pooped it with it yet. I'd be afraid I'd drop it on the ground or anything. Drop it.
Right. All right. So thank you, Raz, Steven, and Brian. You're all entered in for our month-end giveaway for March. So if you'd like to be entered, send in a question for the show. If it's read while we record the show, you'll be entered as well, and we'll do a giveaway on the final episode of each month. That's a good way. So with that, that's going to do it, everyone, for episode number 39. We'll be back next week with episode 40 to talk more Switch, Mike. And
fuck off.
I think he's just jealous. He's jealous
Yeah,
of all the fun we're
that's
having.
it. I'm jealous. That's
Sounds
Jealous
like it
of
to
all
me.
the fun we're having with Zelda. He's stuck with his Shadow and Mordor, and
yeah, that's it. You got me.
Playing games that are 3 years old.
Yeah.
Or playing games that look 6 years old. So, we'll be back next week with episode number 40. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to episode number 39. Until next week, everybody, have a great week. Stay safe and play some great games.
And play Zelda.
play Zelda.
All right, bye, everybody.